On this week's Tales of Cognitive Dissonance, we have a tale of cognitive dissonance. Come with me, if you will, for a moment into an imaginary world where Michelle Obama is a terrible person for doing something absolutely unthinkable.
My decision to skip the inauguration, my decision to make choices at the beginning of this year that suited me were met with such ridicule and criticism.
As it should be, Michelle, it's not about you.
And yet here you are, making it about her.
Unless you're dying as a former First Lady, you show up because you respect the office.
Take with me, if you will, a trip back in time to the distant past of 2021.
Her farewell address, last thing before we go tonight, speaking from a White House that for years had actual gas lights, the First Lady, who, along with her husband, going out as classily as they both came in. We knew Donald Trump was leaving town before the inauguration, but now the First Lady's office confirms there will not be even the most perfunctory greeting for Dr. Jill Biden as incoming First Lady from Melania Trump.
So remind me, what was it that not only Melania, but also the Sherbert pervert were dying from in 2021 that they couldn't make it to Biden's inauguration? Because that is, according to you, the only possible explanation as to why they wouldn't have gone, right?
You don't go because you necessarily like who's being sworn in. You go because you show the American people that you respect the fact that you are a former First Lady.
Hey, I guess we're all on the same page here, so we can agree that nobody respects Melania Trump as a former First Lady, including Melania Trump, since she didn't go to the inauguration because she didn't like the people who were getting inaugurated. In fact, Melania Trump garners such little respect in this world that even her own husband doesn't respect her enough to tell her that they're doing something disrespectful to her as a former First Lady by not attending the inauguration, and she had to find out from him via tweet. She has such little respect for herself that she just did what her husband told her via tweet rather than making a decision for herself to go to the inauguration to show herself some self-respect as a former First Lady. Right? The point I'm getting from you here is that at least Michelle Obama has enough self-respect to make her own decisions and not attend the crowning of a fascist, regardless of what other people are doing. Gotcha.
People couldn't believe that I was saying no for any other reason, that they had to assume that my marriage was falling apart.
Yeah, because nobody has stooped to a level so low.
Yeah, no one has stooped to those unimaginable lows since the last election, when the people who just got inaugurated skipped the inauguration of the previous administration. However, they were the first people to stoop to that level in 150 years. Gooses and ganders and all that, am I right?
It's like, while I'm here really trying to own my life and intentionally practice making the choice that was right for me. And
Michelle, you do you. You take the time to own your life. But you know what? On January 20th, you put it aside and you show up as a former First Lady.
Yeah, you own your life, but once every 4 years in January, you put your life aside and you make one of two choices. You either attend that presidential inauguration regardless of if you like the person or not, or you skip it to go to your personal golf resort in Florida. But those are the only two respectable options you're allowed to do, not whatever Michelle did. Because, whatever she did by skipping it was definitely bad and much, much worse than whatever the reason was that Melania and Nectarine Nero skipped it 4 years ago.
it took everything in my power to not do the thing that was right.
No, it didn't.
That was perceived as right.
No, it's called etiquette, and you are flat out classless.
I'm sorry. I can't play the bit anymore. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Look, the massive hypocrisy of this entire video is even worse when you really think about it. Because Michelle Obama wasn't even the outgoing First Lady. She had not been First Lady in almost a decade by this point. But Melania Trump, when she skipped the inauguration, was the outgoing First Lady. You want to talk about fucking etiquette? Are you joking? The etiquette is that the outgoing First Family is there at the inauguration of the incoming First Family to symbolize the peaceful transfer of power. That's the fucking etiquette. That's the precedent. Michelle Obama was not the outgoing First Lady, but Melania fucking was. And after Trump and Melania pulled that stump for Biden's inauguration, the problem wasn't that Michelle had enough spine to not go to their inauguration. It was the fact that every other former president and First Lady couldn't manage to find the spine that Michelle Obama has. None of them should have been there. So Michelle Obama did what was right, and it said that she was the only one who had the integrity to do so. Anyway, I hope that this video was satire and I was just dumb enough to fall for it because, my God, if it wasn't, you desperately need help.